Hello and welcome to the Current India. In this video, we are going to show you the step-by-step process of how to file a lost report with the Bangalore City Police. Now we start the process by accessing the online portal of the Bangalore City Police, which is the bcp.gov.in, the website that you see here in the address bar. Once you access the website, this is the home page of the Bangalore City Police website, and then we need to scroll down. So when you scroll down, you will find these options on the right hand side. What we need to click is on the web portal. You can find also an option for e-lost report app. There is a mobile application for both iOS users and Android users that you can download and use easily and make a report through your mobile phone. But if you're looking at an option of how to do it through the web portal, then this is the option. So we go ahead and click on the web portal. And this is the page that would open up in front of you. Now, before we go ahead and click on these options and see how to go ahead and file a lost report, a couple of things to be kept in mind. One of the most frequent queries you find asked about reporting an item, or the first thought that comes to your mind when you lose a valuable, right, is whether you can file an FIR with the police. The fundamental thing to keep in mind when you are thinking of the option of whether you should file an FIR or a lost report is to identify whether your item was stolen or whether you have misplaced it. That is the first thing. The second thing depends on which city or state that you live in, and not all states and not all cities give the option of filing an online FIR. Bangalore is a city where you can report your loss by filing a lost report. However, till date, Bangalore has not facilitated an online filing of FIR. So you will not be able to file an FIR online if there is a theft of your property. Like if your bag is stolen, your mobile got stolen, your luggage got stolen, any of these cases. If it is part of a theft, you lost it because somebody stole it. If that is the case, then you have to go to the police station to file an FIR. However, if you have misplaced a property, if you have lost a property, you were traveling and just lost your wallet, or when you're unsure whether you have lost your property or whether it was stolen, you can always choose the option of filing an online lost report. Now that is the process that we are going to show you today. So as we mentioned earlier, you click on the Bangalore City Police portal, scroll down, click on the web portal option for the e-lost and found report, and this page opens up in front of you. Now in this, you will find four options. You can lodge your lost report, you can report a found item, you can authenticate a report, and then there are a few FAQs if you have any doubt in terms of how to file a lost report, for what can you file a lost report, and all that. Couple of things again to keep in mind. This is purely for the jurisdiction of Bangalore. If you have lost your property outside the jurisdiction of Bangalore, you cannot make use of this app. Second thing to keep in mind is when you report a lost item through the e-lost report, or when you report a lost item which was just misplaced and which was not stolen or which is not subject to a theft, the report is taken on record by the police, but they are not obligated to start an inquiry or conduct an investigation on the matter. The report will be taken on record. You can lodge a report. They will keep a database of all the lost report items, and if somebody reports a found item, or if they recover as part of their any of the other recovery processes, if they recover the item, then they always have the ability to cross check and then inform the person. Now, filing a lost report through the Bangalore City Police is pretty simple. It's a simple process. You just have a few steps to go through. The first thing, let's try and click on lodging a lost report. We will click on this option here. And that brings us to this page. Now, for filing a lost report, you need to be a registered user. If you are an existing user, you can click on this and go ahead with the next steps. If you are not a user with the Bangalore Police, then you have to click on the new user option. I'll just click on it and show you what will pop up and what details do you need to enter. The details are pretty basic. What you need to enter your name, mobile number, email ID, date of birth. You need to select any one of your ID proof and then give the details. Like if you select an Aadhaar card, you need to give the Aadhaar number. If you select a PAN card, you need to give the PAN number here, etc. Then you enter the CAPTCHA. Then you click on send OTP. The OTP will be generated to your email ID and your mobile number. You enter the OTP and then your registration process is complete. Now let's go back and see what happens when we are an existing user. So if you are an existing user, you click on this and the only thing you are required to enter is either your mobile number or your email ID. Once you enter your mobile number or email ID and you enter the CAPTCHA, you will receive, and when you click on the option send OTP, you will receive an OTP. You will have to validate that. So let's go ahead and enter this mobile number and then see. Once we have entered the mobile number and clicked on the send OTP option, I have received the OTP here. I've entered the OTP and then I click on the option login. Once you click on the option login, that is when we get all these options of the actions that you can take with respect to a lost report. You can register a lost report. You can retrieve the details of a lost report that you have filed. You can report an item and hand over an item, and then you have the FAQs. Let's go ahead and click on the register lost report option. So once we click on the register lost report option, this is the page that is going to open up in front of us. Now you will see multiple tabs here. You have details, the personal details to be filled in. You can give the details of place and time of occurrence and the details of the lost articles. The first tab is the personal details. Let's see what all details are needed. The complainant's name. So when you are filing the report, you would be the complainant. So you need to fill in your name, your parentage, your address. The state and the city will be pre-selected because we are going through the official app portal of the Bangalore City Police. You need to enter the PIN code. Your mobile number and your email ID, the ones that you have used while you were registering as a user, will be pre-populated here. So these are the details that you need to give in the first tab. And then once you enter all these details, you click on the next option. You will get the next tab opened up in front of you. Now the next tab is about the place and time of occurrence. You need to enter the place of occurrence. Where did you lose your property? If you do not know the exact place, at least mention the approximate locality where you feel that you have lost the property. Next is you need to select the police station. If you do not know the police station, click on I don't know or unknown. If you know the area, then you can select accordingly whichever is the police station. Subdivision again, but depending on when you select the police station, if you know it, you can select these two. Now you need to enter the lost date. If you see here, you have two options, the from date and the to date. If you know the exact date on which you lost it, as it is given in the sample here, you can mention the same date for both. You can select the date by clicking on the calendar here. If you are unsure of the exact date when you lost the property and you only remember when you last saw the property, a particular date, then you can give a date range. So the last date that you remember when you're sure that the property was still with you, that should be the date given here. And the to date should be the date when you first realized that you have lost your property. So that should be entered here. Next thing to be entered is the time. Same principle as we talked about in the date. If you know the exact time or the in and around time, you can mention that. If you do not know the exact time, then you give a time range. You know the date, but you're not very sure whether you lost it in the morning or evening, then you give a time range. You give the from time as a time that you remember, you definitely remember having the property with you. And then the to time would be the time when you have first noticed that the item is missing. So that is the time that you mention here. Once you enter these details, you give a brief facts here. Whatever details about the incident in terms of where you were, whether you were traveling, you were in a train, whatever you know. If you do not have additional facts to give, you can ignore this particular portion. Once you have entered these details, you have to click on next. Now because we have not entered anything here, I'm going ahead and clicking the tab here. But once you enter, you have to click on the next, the green button which is marked as next. That will bring you to the last tab, that is the lost article tab. So you have the first one is select article. It is a drop down option. You can select from the multiple options given here. These are a list of common items that people tend to lose when they lose a bag or a wallet or a mobile or their luggage, right? So you can choose that, and whichever item, say if you lost Aadhaar card and a passport, each of these items will have a unique ID, right? You can give the unique ID. You can give a description of the article here. If you feel that you have lost more than one article, sometimes when you lose a bag you lose multiple things, right? You may lose 2 or 3 important documents. You may lose your credit card, your Aadhaar card, your driving license, sometimes along with it your phone. You can click on the option add more articles. So because I haven't entered anything here, that pop-up is appearing, but if you have filled anything here you will be able to add more articles. When you click this option again, you will again be able to select another article from the drop down, and then you enter another article again. So once you have completed this process of listing out all the articles you have lost, then the last step is to click on this submit button, this bottom right corner green button. And once you submit the button, that completes your process. When you submit your button, you will get an acknowledgement with the lost report number that you can use as a valid document for getting your duplicates issued and all that. That is one of the key things that you have to keep in mind when you think about whether you should actually report a loss of a property or not. The importance of reporting a lost item is more relevant from your perspective, because it acts as a protection for you. It ensures that even if your property that you have lost is misused by somebody, you are sufficiently protected. So in order to ensure your protection, we always recommend that if you lose an item, please go ahead and lodge a formal lost report with the police. And the second thing is, a lot of authorities would require you to give a copy of the lost report for them to issue their duplicates, whether be it duplicate SIM card, whether be it duplicate documents, any of these, you will have to show a copy of the lost report. The report that you get, the acknowledgement that you get when you submit your lost report, is a valid document that can be used to submit to any of the authorities for issuance of duplicate documents or issuance of any duplicate SIM cards, as the case may be, whatever article you have lost. So that is the importance of filing a lost report. As we mentioned earlier, it's a pretty simple process. Only 3 tabs and all the details would already be available with you. There is nothing complicated here, and with these 3 simple steps you can complete the submission of a lost report. It will take you like 10 minutes maximum to report this. Now let's go back to the dashboard and see a couple of other options that were available to you. Right, so till now we were looking at registering lost report. The next option available for you is retrieving a lost report. When you keep your cursor here, you can see, you can either view your earlier lodged lost report, you can even download a copy of that. Let's click on that and see what opens up. Enter FIR by barrier. The terminology FIR is actually that is incorrect if you ask me, because you cannot file an online FIR in Bangalore. What you have to enter here is the details of your lost report or the year, and then you will be able to click on the search option, and then you can retrieve a lost report. Please don't be misguided by seeing this word FIR here. You cannot file an online FIR in Bangalore. That is actually incorrect in our opinion. So that is the option that you will have to get a lost report, to retrieve a lost report. Once you click on search, you will get the option to even download a report that you have filed earlier. We go back to the dashboard, and then you have this option, report found. If you have found your article which is reported earlier, this enables the police to actually strike off a lost report from their database. So if assume that you have registered a lost report, After some time you actually recovered the item, then you can report it here. I'm just clicking on it so that, see. So this is the page that opens up when you click on report found and handover. Since we have not registered any lost report here yet, you will not find any items. See, there this message pops up. If there is actually a lost report that you have lodged, then you will find that listed here and you can take the action appropriately. So I just wanted to show you this page so that you get to know what would possibly appear here. We go back to the dashboard so that you can just see the 4 options all over again. And that completes the process of lodging the lost report. We have gone through all options available to you. See, clicking on Authenticate a submitted report. So this is an option for you to view your lost report. What you have to enter here is the lost article report number. As I mentioned earlier, when you submit a lost report through this portal, you will get a PDF acknowledgement or a document, evidencing your lost report. In that, you will find something called a LAR number or a lost article report number. The LAR number allocated to your report, these are unique IDs. So each time you make a report, you will get separate LAR numbers allocated to you. You have to enter the LAR number here and then click view lost report to view your lost report. So they authenticate the lost report by asking you to enter the number. Once you enter the number, you can view your lost report. Let's go back. As I mentioned earlier, there are a few FAQs here that you can click and check at your convenience if you have any doubt on how to file a lost report. So we hope this video has been useful for you in understanding the process of how to lodge a lost report if you have lost any item within the city of Bangalore. You will find a direct link to accessing the eLost Found report portal in the description below, along with the step-by-step process. We have also given you the step-by-step process here. If you would like to know more information about how to report a lost item in Bangalore or how to report a found item in Bangalore, there are some very useful FAQs in the currentindia.com. We have given you a direct link to the article in the description below as well. Please take some time out and check out the useful information that is given out there. So that's all with this video from our side today. Thank you so much.